Shalom, family. Good to see everybody here. I hope everybody is doing well. Well, I knew this was going to happen. Jackie Johnson, the DA that was in charge back during 2020 when Ahmaud Arbery was straight up murdered out there in Brunswick, Georgia, she has been cleared of all charges. Now, if you remember, she was the one that did everything she could to make sure the McMichaels did not go to jail. She literally obstructed the police from arresting them. And therefore, they were free for about 3 months after they went out on the streets and they just chased this dude down. I mean, all he was doing was out there jogging, and you notice the standing pattern with these people. If we are around them, they got a reason to believe that we're committing a crime, even when they see you. Oh, he was running. I thought he broke in a house. Okay, so when people break into houses, they break in the house and then go jogging through the neighborhood, you know. And if anything, we should be suspicious of them. Look at our history. We got every right to look at them with the side eye. I don't know what the hell they're doing that to us for, other than the fact that you were taught to do that, to compensate for the fact that you've done all the wrongdoing to us. So you're trying to project onto us, oh, you be suspicious of them black people. Get out of here. We been knew what you were doing, and you're not fooling nobody. If anything, we should be looking at you like that. So let's get into this, y'all. This makes my blood boil, but you got to consider how rigged up the court systems are here. Remember, it's to get everything um, in their favor and For us, it's always against us. So that's how they have it all rigged up, and it still works like that to this very day. So, and y'all, she had the audacity to hire a black attorney to represent her in court. And I know why she did that. It was the symbolism. Oh, I'm not a racist. Oh, I'm not a racist. I've hired a black attorney to help me. See, I would never have done that if I was racist. Yeah, whatever, lady. So, anyway, the fact that it took them 5 years, y'all, 5 years to get around to putting her butt on trial, I knew they were working behind the scenes to get her out of everything. Her trial should have came up right after the McMichaels and Bryant. She should have been on trial at least 2 to 3 weeks later. But they pushed this thing out 5 years. And just that alone, I knew they were going to figure out a way to let her go. And the prosecution and the judge, they were in on this, y'all. They didn't put on a very strong case at all against her in court. It was very lackluster. So, yeah, well, as long as she was free, she was out here practicing law, y'all. She never stopped practicing law the entire 5 years. So, from what I understood, she had a law license to practice law in Georgia and Florida. And so she's been out here working as a lawyer the entire time. Okay. The entire time she's been out here working as a lawyer, as if nothing was done wrong to Ahmaud Arbery. 5 years. Unbelievable. And during that 5 years, she they wouldn't even give her a court date. Every time you would see the articles, it would just say that she was awaiting trial. There's no court date at this time. And they did that for nearly 5 years before they got around to doing this and acquitting her for everything. Sorry about that, y'all. It's just unbelievable. All right, so let's get into what it says about this. It's just load of garbage. Former DA Jackie Johnson cleared of wrongdoing in Ahmaud Arbery's murder investigation. So, a judge dismissed the remaining criminal charge against the former Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney, Jackie Johnson, and I'm glad she lost her run for the DA. It was not long after the McMichaels were arrested. She was still running for office and she lost, and I'm glad she lost, clearing her of legal wrongdoing in the investigation of Ahmaud Arbery. Senior Judge John Turner, and everybody that got her out of it looked just like her, is that shouldn't be shocking to anyone. Throughout the felony charge, violating oath of office, agreeing with the motion made earlier by her defense. The move came before closing arguments before jury deliberation because of the technical error in the indictment. No, they did that on purpose. The ruling ended the trial and it came 2 days after Turner dismissed the second charge against Johnson because of insufficient evidence by prosecutors. Y'all, the prosecutors really handed this to her. They didn't go after her hard at all. And that's why I believe this whole thing was planned out during the 5 years they were coming together to figure out a way to get her out of the whole thing. I really, truly believe that. The 2021 indictment brought by Attorney General Chris Carr against Johnson, widespread community and national outcry about criminal justice and public safety in Glenn County after Arbery's death. A black jogger who was hunted and killed by three white men, but it took more than 2 months for the arrest to be made. Yeah, because Johnson was obstructing the police from doing their job. Johnson, a Republican who had served as a DA for a decade, had been accused of interfering with the investigation because of one of the people later convicted was her former investigator. And we know that was Greg McMichael. The three men, Greg McMichael, his son Travis, and their neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, were convicted of Arbery's murder in 2022. And that's when Jackie Johnson should have went on trial. In 2022, Johnson faced two charges at trial: that she violated her oath of office by handpicking a friendly DA to investigate Arbery's murder. And you know what that DA did? He threw everything on Ahmaud Arbery and said he caused the whole thing. How the hell does a man jogging through the neighborhood and get hunted down like an animal cause the whole thing? But that's what the DA she gave it to did. And she knew he was going to do that. The DA sound like a straight up racist. But he tried to come back and said there was no wrongdoing and Ahmaud Arbery caused the whole thing. And after that, that's when the DOJ had to get involved because they saw between Jackie Johnson and the DA she handed this off to, which she knew was going to get her buddy, Greg McMichael, out of it. They saw they weren't going to do nothing. That's why the DOJ had to step in and do their own investigation. But y'all, this is an example of how it's been for our people. When any wrongdoing is done to us, they come together, they use their courts, they use their laws, they use their DAs and prosecutors and judge to make sure they rule against us. And that's exactly what Jackie Johnson did when she handed this off to some white man DA to look at it and then blame Ahmaud Arbery for the whole thing. This is how courts have been working against us the entire damn time. So on Wednesday, Turner ruled in favor of the defense motion that the state attorney general's office attached the wrong oath to the indictment, rendering the felony charge invalid. They did that on purpose. They put the wrong charge on her on purpose to get her out of it. Frankly, this is a decision I didn't want to make, Turner said, but he said he felt the defense question to dismiss the felony charge needs to be granted. So what they're saying is the prosecution put the wrong charges on her. Now, all of a sudden, the prosecutor don't know the correct charge to put on somebody. They sure know what correct charges to put on us. In fact, they know what charges to falsify on us too. But when it comes down to this woman, they put the wrong charge on her, so it all had to be thrown out. Now the prosecutor don't know how to properly charge a person. You see how phony these people are? This is fake. Turner expressed sympathy for Arbery's family. Nah, if you want to show sympathy, then you would have done something and you would have punished this woman. The fact that you didn't, who the hell needs a judge that didn't do their job to feel sorry for them? Man, get out of here. I'm listening to the testimony and will never understand why these people were never arrested, the judge said. Aubrey's killer. So he said he don't understand why there was a delay in arresting them. Jackie Johnson was the reason why it was that delay. Johnson did not speak to reporters after the judge's decision, which her lawyer said leaves her clear of any professional taint. So Jackie Johnson literally can go out here and continue to practice law as if she never committed a single crime. How you doing, True Royal?
I'm doing fine, Lisa.
Did you hear what I read in the article? How long were you here?
I've been here the whole time.
The prosecution put the wrong charge on her.
Yeah, I
That's how
know.
they invalidated everything, which got the case dismissed. Now all of a sudden the prosecutor don't know what charges to put on a person. This
Hmm.
sounds like a complete setup.
Yeah, yeah. I have been following the case day one, and and I knew because the judge had I think like 3 days into it had dropped one of the charges, and I said, "Oh, they're gonna get ready to get rid of
Well, they
all of
dropped
this."
that charge. They dropped
Hmm.
that charge because they said the prosecution office did not put the right charge on her, so it
Hmm.
invalidated that charge and it got thrown out.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, we all know when you have 5 years to prepare for anything in life, you're not going to miss anything. You're going to analyze it, reanalyze it. And this isn't a prime example because Trump's administration want to talk about merit base, that this system is still rigged in their favor
Right.
at the end of the day, and
Hmm.
all. And it doesn't take a rocket science. Um, okay, we didn't. Most of us have seen the footage after he done got shot. The cops arrive. All of a sudden, nobody knows how to do their damn job, and they let them go home while this man is rotting on the street, dying and all. And then the part that was so insulting is when Ahmaud Arbery's mother is, trying to seek justice for her deceased son, and how this bitch right here, I'm not gonna hold my words back, that got blood on her hands 3 times, and I'm gonna say this for a reason, 3 times. Um, they just shut doors. They do what they usually do. She's passing the buck from DA to DA, and they just shutting doors. Now, what I mean about 3 times she got blood on her hands, um, in that little town, there was a white woman on a high speed chase. She slammed into something. The cops was pissed with her. They shot that car up and killed that white woman. Okay, those cops got away with that. Then it was another cop on the force. His wife divorced him. Now, this DA got involved in all this. So he can't accept a divorce. She done moved on with her life. He's terrorizing his wife and her new boyfriend. He kills them. This woman got blood on her hands. She been doing dirt for the longest. So I'm gonna say what I usually say. Um, living is hard. Dying is easy. And this woman ain't got away with nothing. I'm just as angry as anybody else, but she didn't get away with anything. But I did keep up with this case. This woman got on the witness stand, boo-hooed and cried, put on a whole performance, and all. And then she ran. And then another thing, she ran to black attorneys to get her
Hmm.
off. This is a common pattern with these racist ass people.
Yeah, you know what? Kim is right. Listen, y'all. I was watching a case where the Ku Klux Klan was on trial. I must have been a teenager. Do y'all know they hired a black male attorney to rep the Ku Klux Klan did this. And see, when they do this, like I said before, they always try to do it under the guise of, see, we don't have no problem with black people. We hired this black attorney. It's as fake as a $3 bill.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you this woman probably barely speak to a black person.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But yeah, she got on that witness stand and cried and shook and put on her little Academy Award performance and all. And I just don't understand how our folks could defend a demon like that. You know what? All money ain't good money, or anything. That it is, you know. But it's like how I look at it, Lisa. We can predict what they're gonna do way before they do it, years ahead and stuff. And then to wait 5 years, hoping that we was gonna forget. See, that's the key right there. They drag it out and hope that we gonna forget and all. Everything was rigged in our favor. Even the jury selection.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah,
they was
one
just
black person. One black person, y'all, and the rest of the jury was white.
mm-hmm,
That's what they did in this case.
mm-hmm. And then the judge, he act like he was irritated because I was watching the footage of it. He was slumped over in the seat, staring off into the sky, and they was just going through the unquote motions. You got 5 years to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a damn lawyer. You're not a damn lawyer. We could have prosecuted that case and knelt her ass.
They spent 5 years trying to piece together ways to get her out. That's the only thing that happened over the
Mm-hmm.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, she was a DA. This
Mm-hmm.
woman knows those judges. She knows the prosecution. She knows other DAs. She's well connected in the system. That's what you
Yes.
got to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm not trying to tell people what to say, but I just want folks to think about something when it comes to the royal family. It's not that their time is coming, their time is here. We are witnessing it every day. They pissing and moaning and crying. Not their time is coming. When we speak into the universe, we be holding things up when we say things like that. Their time is here. It is time for them to suffer now. To hell with stop holding stuff up. We got to understand who we are too as well. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a very well connected person. And I would not be surprised if you're able to go back in her cases when she was a DA, she probably interacted with this judge all the time
Oh yeah.
and the prosecution. Usually these folks they are kind of within the same circle and they all know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't working hard to go after this woman at all.
No. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No, not one bit. The one thing that I also want to add is, and I was concerned, but I see that I've been proven wrong, and I'm happy to be proven wrong on this one. I was concerned about Mr. Arbery, Senior Arbery. I thought that because he was more vocal, I thought that he was going to be the one that break and be the forgiving one. And that family has stuck together, and they ain't forgive nobody at all. So I take joy in that um it seems like this family have meetings behind the scenes before they, when they go before the media, and they not, release your emotions behind the scenes, but when you're on the world stage, don't give the enemy what they want at the end of the day. But I know how these folks look at this. They figured the McMichaels, and I call that dude Elmer Fudd looking dude, is locked up. Also, how they also look at it is they have received a settlement, which is the taxpayers' money, and so justice has been rendered as far as they concern. Not with us. I'm gonna keep saying this too. You can't satisfy us. It ain't nothing you can do to satisfy royalty. You know,
Well,
justice.
In the Bible, Ahmaud Arbery would be, we know, under the altar. telling the Heavenly Father he wants justice.
Mm-hmm.
He wants justice. Our people that have been killed, that's what they're all doing.
Yeah.
They're in that spirit world asking for justice.
Mm-hmm.
And that justice is going to be carried out, y'all. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
going to be in their lame ass courts, because we know they don't have the morality to give you justice the right way. It is
Correct.
not in them. You're never going to see this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that judgment got to come from a higher power, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to come from their degenerate courts. It's not coming from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These
This is
people
this.
are
Yeah.
degenerates, and they've run the system like a bunch of degenerates, too.
Oh yeah. And their representative has really showed the true core of their system. I mean, Trump represents very well that if you don't fully understand what this system is about, now we are really getting to see, because you don't see a bunch of black folks whining and crying. The very people that bought into this system, now they sitting up here bitching and moaning and all. And like I said, they've been shaken out of their comfort zone, and they seeing what it was. We told your ass. See, we was born into this. And then now y'all have the nerves to be angry with us, and we didn't told you about this system. But you on your own.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wania, I pray for justice every day for anybody that has been wrongfully taken out of this world by these Gentiles. And not only do I ask for the Heavenly Father to render that justice, and I ask him not to spare no one, not their kids, not their families, don't even spare their pets. Get them all.
Mm-hmm.
Get them all. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, look, y'all, the bottom line is this system, they're trying to, well, Donald Trump, I should say, is trying to cater to these racist monsters even more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not in them to do the right thing. That's why we haven't seen it in centuries, and you won't see it. That
Mm-hmm.
righteousness is never going to come from a devil. And that's why I don't look for that in them. I haven't looked for any sense of justice in these people. I can't even remember the last time, because it's been that long. I
Mm-hmm.
do not look for the right thing in these folks. I don't.
They don't have a history of doing anything right. They have a history of destruction.
Hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So
Hmm.
this I mean, it can disappoint us. It doesn't shock us, but we have to continue to move on to as well. Because see, they want this type of stuff to where we get so fixated on it that we don't be progressive. We're
Hmm.
the only progressive people on the planet when you think about it. These other folks are not progressive.
No, no. It's just like they label themselves smart, but you keep constantly seeing them doing and saying stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, yeah,
I never seen so much destruction in such a short amount of time in my life.
that's
Now,
because that's all they know how to do.
I mean, it is
They're
incredible.
good at it. They're good at destruction.
Woo wee, ain't they?
They are the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Your girlfriend probably gonna go now that she's off the hook. She probably at her law practice right now,
Mm-hmm.
just working away because she has nothing to worry about now.
Yeah. But she got something to worry about, Lisa. Because the way like I said, you get no peace, you get no sleep, you get no rest. at all. That is my prayer for demons like this. You don't get no peace. And just
Mhm.
look at her. Look at her. Just when you just really look at that demon, you're looking at a cave beast. She really true to her nature.
Mhm.
But what get me is how they real quick, even them, and what tripped me out, Lisa, when I really started studying the enemy, is even the men will get up on a witness stand and they'll start boohooing and crying too.
Oh yeah, we
All of them
seen
got it
it.
in them.
We seen a couple of police officers do that after they
Mm-hmm.
done killed one of our people.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. So we're supposed to feel sorry for the monster that did it more than the person that's laying
Mm-hmm.
up in the boneyard, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is something they've been trying to push on us the entire time.
You know,
No, don't feel sorry for that one in the boneyard. Feel sorry for this one that pulled the trigger on them. That's who you know. Oh, the poor. Remember, y'all remember back when I would say like 2017, 2016, somewhere around there. Every time one of our people would get killed, the mainstream white media would act like defense attorneys for the
mm-hmm.
cop. Y'all remember they were going heavy in that. They don't do it as much as they used to, but I remember they were going in heavy for these cops and
Mm-hmm.
anybody that killed our people.
True.
And I remember sitting there saying, "Oh, I guess they all think they're defense attorneys now."
Mm-hmm. Yep. And back to the crying part. When they finally did, after 2 months of letting the McMichaels go fishing, pick their nails, kick their heels up, and finally went over there and arrested them, Junior McMichael was crying like a big baby
Mm-hmm.
because he got
Travis, yeah.
arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Because he got arrested. So he was sitting up there crying.
Yeah, because many of them really truly think in their minds whatever they do to us, they should never be punished
Yeah.
for it.
And Ahmaud Arbery's mother, my heart just went out to her. She's trying to get justice. She even see them jokers out there fishing with their
Yeah.
heels all kicked up, and this woman get no respect, nothing done because of that white bitch right there. Because she
And if
put the
you
word
remember,
out.
yeah, and if you remember, even the DOJ was trying to work out a deal
Mm-hmm.
with her, and she was like, "Hell no," to let the McMichaels and Brian go
Mm-hmm.
and work out a deal where they spend a little bit of time behind bars, but no, and she flat out refused. And that right
Mm-mm.
there goes to show you. That's why I said to people in videos years ago, the DOJ has never done nothing for
Mm-hmm.
our people.
Nope.
Never,
Mm-mm.
never.
Mm-mm. No,
So
not one
when you
iota.
say something's going to the DOJ, it means nothing to me because the history shows whenever something is done to us, they don't lift a finger for our community. They
Yeah,
have
because
no history of it.
it's just and it goes back to the system being rigged. They'll just push it
Mm-hmm.
over to one department to the next department, and they automatically know exactly what to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that is. They ain't nothing
Sit
but a
on it,
damn
but
game.
sit on this long enough so those Negroes can calm down. And then once they're calm, then we'll just come on out and we'll let her off of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
hopefully they'll forget. They'll forget all about Ahmaud Arbery. And that's the time we'll come out and get her off the hook.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened too, as well. Because you would think, again, let's go back to this 5 years. You would think that the prosecutors would investigate. Well, why did the the police officers that arrived at the murder scene, why they were and why they did not investigate, why they did not arrest them, why did they not ever question them? If you notice, during this whole thing, the cops that arrived there, it was like they disappeared. That was something that stood out to me. It was like they never existed or anything. We
Mhm.
not stupid.
Mhm.
We looking at the beginning of it, phases of it, and then it was another DA involved in it. I made tons of videos about this because it bothered me, and all, and and everywhere Ahmaud Arbery's mother went, they just closed the door in her face, closed the door in her
Mhm.
face, business as usual, and all. And then they got the nerves to be irritated because she took it further and further, and it did put it on the world stage. But even with all of that, you see what it takes just to get an inkling of justice. This is not full
Mhm.
justice. An inkling of justice. All this protesting, all this stuff being televised all over the world.
Yeah.
And then even with that, um, um, what was that? How they there was even I forget that it was a black woman involved in this. She even tried to um stab the McMichael the Arbery's behind the back and still tried to get some kind of inkling with full justice for the McMichaels,
Mhm.
and basically said in front of the family, oh, disregard whatever they want. um um this woman, I forget that so-called black woman's name because I can see
Yeah,
her
she was
face.
she was part of the DOJ. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was talking about.
yeah,
She was,
yeah.
yeah. And that's why I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying they have never been there for us.
No.
You couldn't pull up one case where our people were killed out in these streets like an animal and the DOJ stepped up and did something or dismantled a police department that was corrupt. Or they
Mm-hmm.
don't do nothing. They just to me they just do it for show.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the DA is, oh, yeah, the DOJ is involved. It's just for show. Because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, they don't do nothing.
Mm-mm. Sure don't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, it's the usual BS. White woman goes to court, white woman cry, white woman get out of everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
just the usual typical story up here in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's new? So,
Hmm.
well, she's getting her wrath as I speak.
Yeah.
I
I
wa
don't think she's married. I noticed one thing through this whole thing. You ain't never seen no husband. I don't
You
think
ain't
she's
seen
married.
nobody. The only family I ever heard her mention was her mother, and that is it. Nobody, ain't
Yeah.
nobody checking for her.
Hmm.
She gonna have to pay somebody. Look at that. I mean, really, I'm just being
Yeah.
honest. Look at that. Look at her
Hmm.
face. I don't know how old she is, but she sure is aging quick.
I think she's in her 50s.
Ooh, child.
I think she's a, yeah, you can see them jaws on her, that's for sure. She's
Mm-hmm.
definitely over 50. Look at them jaws on her face.
Mm-hmm. Look
Y'all,
like
I mean, I don't even have jaws, y'all. I don't have no jaws when you look at me.
no, I don't have that either, Lisa.
I
Look at
mean,
that.
even in your 50s, no, some of us we hold up real good. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have no jaws on our face like many of them do.
Mm-mm. Look at
Yeah,
that.
I
Look at
believe
that.
she's in her 50s.
Yeah, look at that dog hair on the top of her head.
Mhm. Yeah, she looked like she dyed it because the last time I saw her, it was still real dark.
Did you ever see
So
that
she must
photo?
have
You
died.
ever see that Photoshop picture of her where they tried to doll her all up, and you could tell the
Mm-hmm.
picture was Photoshop. They had put on makeup on her, and all. And I said that ugly bled right through that makeup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she still looked like a pig with lipstick on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I'll be coming back because I'm going to talk about that airplane, the Delta airplane that was from America that
Mm-hmm.
flipped over on its back. And, you know, I got more information about a lot of things that have been happening behind the scenes that I will be going over with you. And that's at, I believe, 3:45. You're more than welcome to come on the panel. True Royal. I
Okay.
can send you the link.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing an update. I mean, I had exhausted myself watching videos of these folks crying, so I didn't really investigate it. So yeah, I would look forward to that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you coming and supporting the channel. And you can always support the channel by doing a super thanks in the comment section. But I thank everybody for being here, and I will see you all later. Shalom, family.